Is this the best squat rack you can buy on Amazon for under $350? It is the Sunny Health and Fitness squat rack. I think it's probably one of the #1 squat racks on Amazon. Now, when you're buying racks on Amazon, there are a few things to watch out for. Most are poorly built and constructed. This one isn't so bad, but the first thing I want to show you is the height. Because if you have a garage gym, the #1 consideration you're going to have, is what we had, is the height of your ceiling with your rack. Now, most racks are over 90 inches tall. This is about 92, 93 inches, so none of those racks would work in there, especially if you want to do pull-ups. This is 87 inches all the way to the top of the pull-up bar. Now, we didn't put the pull-up bar all the way to the top peg, we put it one down, giving us plenty of room to still be able to do pull-ups and have headroom. So for us, I think a lot of you might be in the same situation. We only have about 92, 93 inch ceiling. One peg down, I think this probably comes down to about 85 inches high. So that's something to keep in mind regarding height. That's why this actually does quite well. Now, in terms of the construction and build, obviously it's not the most robust squat rack. If you're looking for something heavy duty, obviously you're better off shopping at places like Rogue, Fringe, etc., where you can get more heavy duty racks. But for something on a budget on Amazon to get the job done in the gym, it actually does quite well. I'm gonna overlay some footage of us putting this together. It's relatively easy. It's just a few nuts and bolts that you put together. So nothing complex with this. Now, I will say that in terms of the construction, it is relatively lightweight. So for example, we move this every time we use it. So even just picking this up and then moving it side to side is relatively easy. I should even go this way. Bang. So we move this on and off our platform. But because it moves easily, it makes it a little more difficult if you are slamming big weights against it. Now, there are band pegs it comes with down the bottom, so you can do accommodating resistance work, but you cannot use those unless you bolt the rack into your floor. Now, it comes with little pieces here, so you can bolt it into the floor, 2 here and 2 here, but I still think if you're gonna bolt a rack into the floor, you're still better off buying a better rack than this one. This can kind of just serve as something where you can do your pull-ups and still do your training. You just can't use the band pegs. Now, if you wanted to anchor it down, you can actually add plates onto your plate holders here. And these things can weigh your squat rack down when you're using it. However, if you're slamming weights into this part anyway, it's still not gonna stop the rack from falling. So just to give you a demonstration, if you were here and you were gonna put the rack, if you were gonna rack the bar hard, you're gonna see this happen with the rack moving. Now, we've handled well over 300 pounds on this rack and haven't had this issue, just because when you're putting stuff in the rack, you don't have to slam it against it and walk forward with it. So if you're careful, you're gonna be fine doing it anyway. Just bear that in mind, that it will move, and if you're lifting heavier and heavier loads, that can be a problem. Now, with the safeties here, you can actually lift off the safeties too. I've had over 225 pounds on the safeties, and the rack doesn't tip forward. I mean, we even do inverted rows and all sorts of stuff off these safeties, and we've had no issue there too. So regarding the actual features on here, I've talked about the safeties, the band pegs, the weight holders. There's also J hooks here as well. And with the J hooks, it's really nice. They have these little rubber inserts on here to stop scratching the knurling on your bar. However, you will see there is this metal part on the front. You see it's kind of scratched there for us already. That can blunt your knurling really quickly on the bar. So just be wary that, like, we don't use our Alico weightlifting bars, etc. on this often, or we don't use it at least for bench pressing because of this part. For squatting and stuff, it's okay because your bar's always going to be against this rubber. But if you're doing bench, etc., we use the shitty rusty bar that I was showing there before. So bear that in mind with this rack. And then finally with the pull-up bar, usually when you get pull-up bars, they can be slippery with the paint they use. This one wasn't too bad, but we actually sanded the top of it slightly to give it a rougher feel. Once you do that, we have no issues. I mean, we live in Texas where it's hot, and even when you're sweaty, it still has pretty good grip. So that's just a small modification we made. Obviously, you have these 2-inch gap holes for all the heights you need. That's given us no problems either. So for the price, you're getting a damn good rack. This often goes on special as well on Amazon, so just keep in mind when you're looking at this. On there, there'll be a link in the description and the pinned comment as well. You can go and you can support the channel if you purchase through that link. But other than that, let me know, have you used this rack? Have you looked at other racks on Amazon before? Maybe you're not sure what's on there. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next review video.